Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Interesting news, and it's about Ukrainians and Russian mercenaries. So all of a sudden we hear back from them. So let's see what the Ukrainians got for us. This article comes from the New Voice of Ukraine from September 7th, 2022. This is the title. Over 40% of Russian mercenaries in Kharkiv Oblast seriously wounded or killed, says General Staff. Now, if you know that 40% of I don't know, a number, a figure, were, in this case, mercenaries seriously wounded or killed, that means you know the total number of the mercenaries, right? And you will provide us with the numbers. Why would you just say 40%? You were saying 40%, which is, let's say, 40,000 out of 100,000, right? I mean, I didn't read the article, so I wonder if they will provide us with numbers. That would be good. They would build, how do you call it, trust. So, private military companies operating in temporarily occupied territories, in particular in the settlements of Oleksandrivka, Kharkiv Oblast, are suffering significant losses. And quote, the update reads, some units have more than 40% seriously wounded and killed, end quote. All right. I'm glad you have the information. Out of how many? The Army Command added that many of the corpses of Russian mercenaries have not been identified, and their owners are simply listed by the Russian military as missing. Russia employs mercenaries, notably via the Wagner private military company, to fight both in Ukraine, Syria, and in Africa. The use of mercenaries allows the Kremlin to reduce official numbers of military losses. Now, I have to confess that the first time I heard about private contractors, that's how they were called, was in Iraq, when the United States of America employed Blackwater. And Blackwater is from Michigan. That's how it started. A guy who started it, I think it's Mike Prince, I think is his name. I think that's the first name, but I know Prince is the last name, and he was associated with Johnson Controls and other stuff. Anyway, it's just that was the first time when I heard about that. And then obviously, if you remember, some of them were shot and hanged and burned in Iraq by the Iraqis or whomever fought against them. And some said that these were mercenaries. Obviously, they will say, no, they're a private contractor. They just, protect stuff over there. Okay, yeah, all right, no problem. Whatever they say. But then there were other reports stating that actually, they're active combat duty over there, and they said make about around $200,000 a year and all that, the contracts and blah, blah, blah. I don't care. That's their life. They can do whatever they want with it. But I'm just saying this is the first time when I heard about it. So Wagner Group, I think, was instituted in 2016, 15, 14, something around that. So way after the Blackwater. So I don't know who learned from whom. Now we can also claim that Wagner Group is just killers because they're Russians, they're mercenaries, and the other ones are beautiful, peace-loving individuals because they are not Russians. Obviously, that's a childlike argument, and I will not consider it. I just had to say it because, honestly, that's the way these guys portray things. Evil versus perfect angels. And we know that life is not like that. All right, let's move on here. The General Staff also provided updates on the situation on the Kharkiv section of the front, where the Russian military opened fire near 8 settlements in the area. The Ukrainian army struck a cluster of Russian troops in Semenivka and Kupiansk districts of Kharkiv Oblast on September 5. the Ukrainian military said. There were also reports late on September 6 that Ukrainian forces had launched a counteroffensive in Kharkiv Oblast. Later, the advisor of the president's office, Oleksiy Arstovich, hinted that the Russian troops have been driven out of the town of Balakleya, which is located west of Kapinsk and northwest of the key Russian-held town of Izium. The Russian military seized part of Kharkiv Oblast at the beginning of the full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Russian attempts to capture Kharkiv were unsuccessful, but Ukraine's second largest city is shelled almost every day, with Russian firing rockets at residential areas, obviously. Why? Because your army around the residential areas? At an early stage of Russian full-scale invasion of Ukraine, the Ukrainian army launched a counteroffensive in other areas of the oblast, pushing the Russian troops back to the border. Wow, see? There is one. And again, the article ended without telling me how did they reach that percentage of 40. How did you calculate it? Unless you know the total, you can calculate the percentage in this case. How? I mean, that should be the percentage out of something. Now, what's that something? You know that something? They didn't say anything. So I hear this kind of, and I read this kind of articles telling us about the Russians are almost done with their rockets. They're depleted with this. Okay, but if you know that, that means, and you made this, like, especially the intelligence community says that. The Russians are incapable of, they don't have any more troops. Okay, since you came to that conclusion, you gotta tell me how, not how, maybe you don't want to tell me how, but at least you tell me, well, because they were like this in that area and now they're like this, and we have that information, and that makes this percentage. The same with this. We know that there were 324 and a half Wagner mercenaries in Kharkiv, let's say, or whenever they want to place these guys at, and now there's no more. It's, I don't know, let's say 194 and a quarter. So if they would give me that, then I would be more trustworthy. I would say, okay, all right, you got the information, you know what you're talking about. But if you say 40%, may I know how you figured it out? Do you know all of them? You know how exactly who is on the other side that you don't see? A mercenary? You know them? How many they are? How did you pinpoint? You know their names, their what? Their shoe size? Okay, so I will take this because probably they're Wagner, no, probably, I'm certain they're Wagner Group fighters over there, and these guys obviously call those guys mercenaries, and they fight in Syria and fight over there. Well, who knows where the private, agencies here of fighters, contractors are fighting for the United States of America, which, as I said, that's fine. You employ your life for money. It's your choice. Well, as I said, I'm still waiting to find out the number. And I look when you see this kind of articles telling you about percentages, look if they provide you with numbers. If they don't provide you with numbers, how did you get that one? I mean, what calculation did you make? Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.